Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. And today we are officially starting the renovation of the Birel R31 chassis. In today's episode we're gonna disassemble the entire kart, look at the state of the parts and then start attacking the paint on the chassis. Let's go! And of course, thank you very much for all the feedback on the previous episode. A lot of you guys like the new format of filming a bit more on the run, a bit more rough, so to speak. And I kind of enjoyed it myself, I must say. So I'm looking forward to bringing that format into this renovation of restoring the kart, bringing you guys along into the karting community and following each step, basically. So let's go and start removing some parts. And as we stated in the latest episode, the chrome on the Birel is in much better shape than it was on the Tony Kart. So this one we will be able to polish and save, so we don't need to buy new ones, which is great. So more on that a bit later. Of course, it's very fun to take everything apart and just putting all the parts on the bench. But it's also very important to keep a close eye and keep the focus to see if you can find any cracks or any damages. Of course, we're gonna switch out all the bolts and all the bearings and so on. But it's always nice to have that extra focus to see what you need to address later on in the process, so you know what you have to work with. Last but not least, the floor pan. This really nice blue anodization. But as you can see, it's in a very thorough state. It's scratched, of course, where the heels are. But as almost every time underneath the fuel tank as well. So I've been looking for a replacement, and I really need to have a blue one, but I'm yet to find anything. So if any of you guys know anyone, a company who reproduces these ones and sells them for a Birel R31, I think it would suit with a Birel R32 as well. Please let me know down in the comments. I will put all the measurements in the description as well. But it would be really nice to have a new one. Okay guys, so here we have it. The kart is completely stripped down and all that's left is the actual chassis. I really like this part of the process where you see the chassis completely clean. You can really see the differences compared to other chassis. Of course, since this is a Birel, it's completely different to the Tony Kart we did in the last series. Very nice, but now we have this next step, which is removing the paint. And for you, those of you who remember series 1 where we did the Tony Kart, we first tried to sandblast the chassis. It didn't work, and luckily, as a lot of you guys mentioned, it's not really ideal for the chassis strength. So we moved on using a rotating, what do you call it? A rotating wire brush, which worked really, really well. However, it took forever, and it needed quite some power to get it done. So this time we're gonna try something completely different. So last time, as mentioned, we used a wire brush. It was really effective, but it took a lot of energy and it was very hard to get into all the tight places on the chassis. So this time we're gonna do a different approach. We're gonna try paint removal. A lot of you guys suggested this, and a lot of guys in the karting community had this as advice when removing the paint on the chassis. So we're gonna give it a go. So we're gonna apply it with a simple brush. It needs to be applied for about 24 hours. So to avoid it drying out throughout that period, we're gonna wrap each surface in some simple plastic, just to keep it wet throughout the entire session. So let's do that. I think it will be quite a fun process actually. All done. Of course, not the prettiest of works we have ever done, but hopefully it does its thing and really make sure that the paint removal gets through all of the paint. Tomorrow, we're gonna wait until tomorrow, then we're gonna take out the power washer and see how much of the paint we can actually remove. Hopefully it will fly off quite easily, or we will need to do a second round of paint removal, but let's see. Okay, so we actually waited 48 hours to make sure that the paint removal had time to do its thing. So now it's time to remove all the plastic and hopefully, or we hope for a good result. Okay, so initially it looks really, really good. You can see here on some of the edges that the paint is actually peeling off by itself, which is a good sign. So we're simply gonna start off with a knife to see if we can get it loose on the middle of the pipes. Let's go. Oh yes, definitely. As you can see guys, the result is really good. The paint is coming off fairly easy. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna apply the power washer to see how much of the paint we can remove with that method. And then I think we're gonna go in with the wire brush for the final few parts that isn't coming off. So let's do that. And yeah, let's go. So there we have it. The paint removal step is completed and it turned out really well. However, we did not save that much time using the paint removal. We actually needed to bring out the rotating wire brush and a knife and some few other tools to get everything out from all the tight spaces. So that is why I haven't shown you guys the process of actually removing the paint, because I thought it would not be that great to watch, maybe 30 minutes of just me removing paint. However, as always, it looks really cool when the chassis is completely clean. And now we have the possibility to look at every detail, look at every well, as previously mentioned, and yes, really get a good feel of the condition of the chassis. For now, we're done with the chassis. We're gonna put it to the side and start attacking all of the parts we removed from the chassis. So there we have it, guys. We reached the end of this episode. We made really great progress, taking apart the entire cart, cleaning off the paint of the chassis. So the worst part is over, and now we can start cleaning all the parts, making sure they are in the best possible condition, painting the chassis, which will be a really nice step of the process. Personally, I can't wait. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to follow along for the next step. In the coming episodes, we will of course taking a closer look at the engine, and we'll try to bring you guys along on all the steps as best possible. I almost forgot. If you're new to the channel, I would like to say welcome to the team. If you want to see more of this kind of restorations, check out some of our previous episodes where we do a nut and bolt restoration of a Tony Kart Extreme chassis, fitted with a Vortex VL95 engine, the engine previous to the VL98, which you're going to use on the Birel we are restoring now. Take care, until next time.